have no music, but it's okay. Hello, everybody coming in. Hello to everybody coming in. I'm just waiting for my sister Sha to jump on. There she is. Okay, Sha, I'm going to send you a request. Hi, Brittany. How are you, my love? Hi, Shasha.
Hi.
Hi, Boogie. Morning.
I don't believe the cards I pulled.
Okay, listen. You already know how we do. I'm trying to get myself set up. Okay.
You like my shirt? Look.
I love your shirt. Are these the elements on there? I love that, Shasha. Hi, hello.
It's a Saturn with the sun and the moon,
Oh, I
crystal
love that.
ball, stars,
I love that.
the crown chakra symbol.
I love it. Hello to everybody coming in. Hello to everybody coming in, and hello to everybody who will watch the playback. Okay, I'm not even going to hold y'all long tonight. Okay, because I gotta go to bed early because we gotta get up super early in the morning to head back to Tucson to the gym show. So anybody who is in the Arizona area and you guys are unaware, the gym show is happening right now here in several places around Arizona. Apparently, I just thought it was just one place, but it's not. It's actually in multiple places. So the gym show is happening for anybody, who wants to make investments, in their shops, or who maybe want to pick up a new hobby, especially as it relates to crystals and all that good stuff. The gym show is in town until the 18th. And so myself and Akila, we will be heading back down there early in the rising. So we got to go to bed tonight. But I'm so excited because we made it to day 7. We made it to day 7. We
We
made
made
it
it.
to day 7.
I have one more piece of jewelry to make, and I'm officially proud of myself.
For those who have been following us, either just individually or maybe you guys follow both of us, you guys know that we have been participating in the phenomenal challenge that my sister Sha and our sister Lady Ace partnered up to bring to us, which was Simply C. And Ace just jumped in the picture. Oh, can't you add more than one person to a live?
I can.
I would love to have both of you on right now for a quick second before
If that's
as
if
we
Ace
close
is even
out.
wanting to come in.
Ace, if you want to come and let us know, and I'll send you an invite. But we are coming. We are at the end now. Today, officially, of the 7 Days in Creation Challenge that was put together by our sisters, Lady Ace, and my sister that I have on with me tonight, my sister Shalom Gaia L. Hold on, Ace, I got it. I'm about to
She
let
sent
you.
a request.
I think I don't know. Y'all know I don't know how to do this.
She says she sent you a request.
Okay,
There you
let me
go.
try.
Hi, Shy.
Instagram is
Are you not in the dark, sis? Are you not
I
in the
am
dark?
so in the dark right now. Leave me alone.
Hi, A.
Hi.
How are you? I'm so happy. I know we can't
Honey,
see
she
you.
is beat. She's beat.
It's
I
okay
am
if we
like,
can't. It's okay if we can't see you.
She had a
girl,
she went on a road trip today.
Oh,
girl, my life is a mess today.
it's okay. I'm just happy to have y'all both here, especially with me as I close out the last and final day of our 7 Days of Creation challenge. And I just want to tell you, ladies, how wonderful and inspiring this challenge has been for me. And I'm sure for anybody who actually took the time to join in and participate with us over these last 7 days, I know that you guys too felt the inspiration just by charging yourself and holding yourself accountable in 7 days, for 7 days, and something that you really felt led to create and to pour creation energy into. And so we're not even going to get into all of that because I know that these two ladies are going live tomorrow at
Yeah.
7. So guys, make sure that y'all tune in because they're going to go live tomorrow and they're going to talk about this experience and really go into the experience and all the goodness that went into how it came together and where they are now at the end. But I just wanted to, have both of y'all on tonight as we closed out the last day for myself, which has been getting on here and giving the messages and bringing us almost to the feet, right? To the beaks, to the wings of
It's
these,
the wings for me.
yes, of these animal totems and of these insect totems that are absolutely communicating with us every day if we would just take a moment to be present in our everyday life. You will see how much these animal totems are speaking to us and how wise the information and timely the information that they are giving to us. Do you ladies want to say anything really quickly before we jump into the cards? I only have 2 tonight.
I'm ready to
Alright.
see what cards you got because I
Right.
know the message gonna resonate. I'm already knowing.
When I say
I
that,
have a few cards, but there's a resonating message here, so I'm just gonna work off my tarot.
yeah, that's fine. We also give thanks and we give energy and power to DMX, who departed from this realm. Who knows? He could have been departed from this realm. They say he left on yesterday. His spirit could have been left up off this planet. And I give thanks for his energy because DMX, I really feel, in his passing, I really feel sends home a collective of powerful messages. The message of really dealing with our addictions. Addictions doesn't have to be drugs or drug use. Your addictions could be attracting people into your life that serve you in a way. An addiction
Mm,
could be unhealthy eating habits. Addictions could be unhealthy stories that you tell yourself just because some aspect of you um, feels victim to it, and so the passing of DMX, I really feel charges all of us as a collective to really get to the root and to the center of ourselves and what we desire and who we really want to be and who we've been. Okay.
hmm
And for myself, spirit really allowed me to see him re-enter the spirit realm as a child and very childlike. And I really just feel that that speaks to his innocence and the innocence that he carried the whole time that he walked this planet. No matter how you feel about what his walk and what his journey looked like, that's none of your business.
Mm,
It's none of our business. His journey was his journey, and his rank in the spirit realm is even greater. And so it speaks to the pain that he endured here in this realm. And what I will say is that spirit honored him, and spirit honored his pain, and spirit honored his walk. And when that man's energy left up off this planet, he sealed the portals. And I said it yesterday on my page that he sealed the portals. And not only did he seal the portals, but he cursed the very leaders that had direct parts in his demise, right?
mm,
Or enabling his addictions. Spirit really allowed and gave him freedom from that. And so we give thanks to the energy of DMX. And I give thanks for the now work that is charged to his hands and to his spirit. And I give thanks to the outcome of him leaving this room and entering in the spirit.
Ashe.
So if all of you
You
would,
are such a beautiful speaker. Wow.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
I really want all of us tonight, just before you close out tonight, to take a moment and to just say DMX's name, and to just give thanks, because he is now absolutely one of our ancestors, and aiding us. And so the messages tonight, as we close out this 7 days in creation, I really feel couldn't have been more timely.
And I seen a snake today. Wow.
Yes, and couldn't have been more timely. And just a powerful way to end the 7 days of creation. Here we have the snake card, and those of you who have been with me over these last 7 days, you will see that this energy has definitely come out more than one time this week. And so, in both of these cards, we are seeing the energy of the serpent, and I really feel that the serpent energy is
Yes, that's tarot card.
speaking to. I truly believe with everything in me that this serpent energy that keeps rising is truly trying to get our attention, to let us know that the Kundalini is being awakened and activated, right? And I truly feel that as a collective, we have been moving through sort of um, the chakras as a whole, if that makes sense. And I feel that earlier in the week, Spirit had us dealing with the heart chakra, and then by the time we got to the middle of the week, Spirit had us at the crown chakra, and at the end of the week, I believe that this last card is the seventh chakra, and it's ending us back at the crown. Okay. And so this Kundalini energy, this awakening spirit that's across this planet, I really want you guys to remove the vanity out of it, right? The illusionary conversations around what we feel awakening is and what we feel awakening should look like. The true awakening that we all should really be experiencing on an intrinsic level is the awakening of ourselves, the wanting to know and how to, and for the reasons to connect back with ourselves, right? All week Spirit has been dealing with us with our untapped magic, with the peacock energy, with
Yes.
getting away from people seeing the outward appearances of you or the outward showings of you, and really coming into the understanding of where your gems and what really makes you rare. And it's not going to be anything on the outside of you. Your rarity truly does come from the inside work that you do, the inside sharpening that you do for yourself, that allows you to then emanate the radiant being that we all desire to be on some level. Okay. And so the first card, the snake energy, simply tells us, and it speaks to being the guardian of unawakened magic. So here we have Spirit again in this new moon in Aries, that's dealing with you seeing yourself for what it is. You seeing your potential for what it is. You seeing your gifting for what it is, and no longer downplaying yourself or taking a back seat because it makes people around you uncomfortable. Or it doesn't have to do with anything with people. Your untapped, awakened magic and untapped areas in yourself could solely be not accessed because of you. Maybe you're afraid of what you'll become. Maybe you're afraid of what you'll lose because of what you're desiring and working to become. And this first card, as we end the 7 days of creation, Spirit is bringing us back to the self and speaking to the unawakened magic that we possess, and that the Kundalini energy, the snake serpent energy, is here to awaken that within us, and to give you the permission to sit unapologetically in that knowingness of yourself, and that becoming of yourself. Okay. The snake energy also speaks to our creative potential. Today has been so creative, and I give thanks to the energy of just being at the gym show today, and just being around all of that crystal energy, and even being able to find something and come into the finding of something that I really desired to have like last week, and seeing that show up for me today because we decided to go on an adventure the night before, and deciding to go on that adventure the night before, today we really had such a beautiful day that allowed us to expand what Highland Spices could be creatively, and the new creations that we could birth out of Highland Spices as well. Many times we have to move in order to find our movement, in order to find our creation, in order to find the sparks of our creation. Sometimes we have to just move, take a walk around the block, right? Go sit at the park for 10 minutes. Like we did, we drove 2 hours to Tucson. You know what I'm saying? But that movement, making that movement today, really, it brought so much expansion today that we would have never had the what is the word that I'm looking for? The opportunity to tap into, had we just sat and just stayed in our regular mundane routine, which is Akilla working her 9 to 5, us still working Hot Spices, drawing down for the day, and then going to bed to get up and do it all over again. Very much still being, and our mission still very much being, and our desires and what we desire to have for ourselves. But sometimes you can even become stagnant in the things that you're chasing after, right? In those moments where you feel like you're stagnant, Spirit is calling for movement and for creative potential. And if you can't access or find that creative potential, try movement, okay? So the snake symbol is speaking to our highest potential. It is said that the snake energy is our creative life force, and it lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. What were we just talking about? The activation of the Kundalini energy within each and every one of us. If man have an ear, let him hear what Spirit is saying to the churches. That's not you going and sitting in somebody's church house in front of your preacher hearing the same message over and over again. It's pulling yourself away from everything that's around you, tuning back into yourself to even learn what you sound like when you speak, what you sound like when you think, what your creative voice sounds like. I have many personalities to me, right? And sometimes I have to just take a moment and to ground myself, right? In all of the different personalities that I have. But all of those personalities bring out a different creator in me, and it allows me to create differently. It allows me to see the world differently, right? And maybe that the aspects of who Rue was in North Philly, she was no longer that being when she made that movement to Jersey. She changed and transformed. And then the being that Rue was in Jersey, she's transforming again now that she's here in Arizona. Just by moving, just by moving the same way that Kundalini energy is moving up the base of your spine. So if you've been having pain in that area, if that area has been feeling very tight, this is the changes that are happening. These are the physical changes that we are feeling in our body. And that's also the reason why Spirit is really charging us to really begin to take care of our vessels, to begin to take care of these ships. This is how we move and navigate in this realm. You know, these are our ships. These are our vehicles. The same way we get into a car, our spirits, our souls is in this vehicle. I don't know how many of you watch the show on Netflix called The Travelers. I love that show. And I think that it's also a beautiful display and description for us to see how we come into this room, why we come into this room, and how easy it is to get lost incarnating back here to take care of our mission and to handle our business, right? But what I also love about that show is that they show you and they depict very clearly how you can come back into the remembrance of yourself. You can come back into the remembrance of your mission, right? And each person character plays a different role. Nobody is playing the same role. You know, we all have different parts in the grand scheme of this masterpiece that we're creating in partnership with Source. We can never forget the source. And we've been so disconnected from the source that now spirit is urging us to get back to the center of it all, to the center of yourself. And when you get to the center of yourself, that in turn connects you with the world around you. You see differently. You speak differently.
It's the preaching for me.
You
It's
do.
preaching for me. You are too on point. Hold on.
Do.
Hold on.
You want y'all, and at any point y'all want to say something, feel free to jump in and say something. But the snake energy is also saying that regardless of whether this image rings true for you, and that part is so important, because if you think it rings true for you, when spirit is saying it rings true for all of us. If you're here on this realm at this time, in this experience, being one of the simulators in the projection, in the experience, then that means what we have access to, everybody that's watching us has access to. Whatever we have access to, the people who have yet to view this has access to. Nobody is bigger or greater than you. Nobody's oil is bigger or greater than yours. It's your perception of your oil versus somebody else's oil. Right? It all matters. And so the card is saying whether you think that this image rings true for you or not, it is well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would your life look like if you woke it up? This is what this challenge was about, that these sisters brought to us and presented to us. What would your life had looked like if you committed yourself for the last 7 days to something in creation? What would have come from that? How would your mind have changed? How much you hold and the ways in which you hold yourself accountable would have changed? I know mine's did. There were a few times this week where I was just like, I'm tired. Like, and I know I committed to this, and I know, that I'm standing with my sisters and holding space in this, but I'm tired. And I have beings around me, one being my wife, that reminded me of my mission, that reminded me of the untapped magic and the unawakened magic that needed to be accessed only through being committed and consistent in this challenge. There was an activation that took place in this challenge. That's why this untapped magic part kept coming up so many times this week. There was an activation that took place. And look what day it ended. On a new moon in Aries that charges you to start something.
And it's crazy because I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I checked the calendar to see when the new moon was. That way we could start on the new moon, but we ended up
divine timing.
No, you did it in divine timing. That was our original conversation, but I think you were confused. But I knew exactly what we were doing.
Bruh, I swear to God, I thought the new moon was like, I swear it said that shit.
No, we're ending it on the new moon.
Okay, so is that what we're gonna do from now on?
Because all week we've been planting. All week we've been planting. We've been planting. We've been planting. So now
soil. We've been talking about fertilizing the soil, ensuring
all
that the soil wasn't lacking all week, y'all. Even the bees. The bees, spirit even called us to be still. Spirit let us know that now was not the time for decision making. Now was not the time for movement. Now was not the time for even embracing each other. Now was not the time for that. Now was the time for us to sit with ourselves, because there's so much change and transformation that's happening around us and within us, right? And if you were present during these last 7 days, I promise you that would have been your takeaway message. And even to have the being DMX, aka the Dog Star, also transition during this period, giving us so much wisdom and knowledge, even just from his exiting this realm, entering the next. That man is a giant in the spirit. He's a giant in the spirit realm. And if you activated with us during this last 7 days, you would have found your giant. You would have found the giant that's within you. You would have discovered your golden eggs. You would have learned that you didn't need to go out into the world in order for them to split you open, in order for you to see your worth. You would have known how to align yourself.
Yes.
Okay? And so what would your life have looked like if you woke it up? How can you stir it from its slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. When the snake card appears, there is no more time to waste. That has been the message from the elder that said that I posted earlier in the week, to the peacock, to the whale, to the bee,
to the starfish,
to Matthews 24 and 25, Ashe to the peacock, to Isaiah chapter 8 and chapter 9, to Isaiah 6, as my sister Asha, we were
Isaiah 66:6.
Isaiah 66:6. There is no more time to decide on if you're going to trust yourself in the season.
Can I jump in?
Absolutely, sis.
So real quick, I just want to focus on 3 oracle cards. This first one is from the Oracle of the Unicorn. So this is a flight, an animal that has wings that fly. So this is definitely air energy. And the first card out was polarity. And the second card out was magic.
Wow.
Okay. Notice the fairies.
Yes.
On here as well.
Yes.
All right. And then polarity, notice the yin yang energy, the black and the white. And then the card that came out from the Kabbalah deck, thank you, Ace, is the card of concern.
Mother is concerned about us.
So you know where I'm going with this.
Mother is
because I always got to come with the heavy ass energy when y'all be like, why you got to be so negative, sis? So
it's all necessary.
It's all necessary.
All necessary.
To speak to your snake energy, the one thing I want to say about this week that I personally see is that I broke a cycle this week. And I broke a cycle of discipline, not being disciplined, and not really. I broke cycles of not being disciplined and not pushing myself hard enough, and being responsible for what I have not put into myself, right? Being responsible for the seeds that I have not taken care of this week, okay? Or in my life, period. So at the end of this week today, I found myself really sitting with myself and reflecting on my life and how far I've come, not even in a sense of I'm not where I want to be, but I am where I need to be because I still have work to do. Right. And so it is, for me, it's more of a form of true magic. Right. So understanding my body and where I need to pay most attention to. Right. And so I know I need to pay most attention to my fire energy right now, understanding the elements that are unbalanced in my body. Right. So that's why I talk about the law of polarity and understanding that you have different sides of you. You have different energies that are within you. And in this time, a lot of us are concerned because our magic isn't working. And the reason why your magic isn't working is because you're not tapping into your shadow side.
Teach a word. Okay?
So with that being said, anytime the concern card shows up, it's because of anxiety. So a lot of us right now are undergoing a lot of mental stress, aka age of Aquarius, aka air sign, right? So a lot of us are under mental distress, and that is by design. That is a part of the agenda, period, right now, is to chaotically mess up people's lives, aka messing up their minds, because control the mind, the body will follow, right? And so this was a time to really break through barriers of deadness, right? Because we are in a new year now, right? And a lot of us have just been dormant the past few months. We just haven't done shit. We just been, it's been the Rona, it's been this, it's been that. Exactly, cycles. And a lot of us have been unproductive, right? And so this challenge was not only to spark, aka Aries, new moon in Aries, to spark something within you, the Ace of Wands, which is all about the spark of new ideas, creative ideas. It's also about moving, the energy of movement, right? And so a lot of us are concerned because, again, the anxiety comes to us because right now we're in times where we may not have a lot of resources, aka we may not have a lot of fiat, aka money. We may not have any money right now, or our income may have slowed down because of whatever else is going on in the world, right? But the one thing I want you all to understand is that if you are not tapping into those resistant energies that are resisting you from your manifestations or resisting you from your magic, like, you're never going to manifest what you want. I don't care if you have $1 million or $1. If your mind is not in alignment with what you truly want, you ain't gonna manifest shit. Believe that, right? And so that is the concern of a lot of people right now. Why isn't this happening for me? Why isn't my business moving? Why haven't I became, famous? Why haven't I become this? You haven't become what you want because you aren't living what you want to be. You aren't tapping into what you really want to be. So therefore, your shadow side is only going to meet your light side where they are, right? Each side of you is only going to meet you where you are, right? So if your light side is afraid of your shadow side and vice versa, these two people are clashing inside of you. That you haven't even introduced these motherfuckers. Do they even know each other? Do they know each other? I don't know your life. You know what I'm saying? But do they know each other? And if they don't know each other, now is the time to sit down and take your Jesus and your devil energy, take your right side and your left side, your upside and your downside, your happy side and your sad side. It's time to take your light side and your shadow side and merge the two together. Right. And that is when the alchemical process will happen. And this is when your Kundalini will start to rise up those 33 vertebrae and arise you from the dead. Bring up your phoenix from the ashes.
And watch this. You went from repeating cycles.
Where'd I go?
Repeating the same cycles to the Kundalini activation. It's the coil. The snake is rising.
Yes.
The snake is rising. Like, that was powerful, Shasha.
I mean, it's no other way to kind of put it at this point. It's either you're gonna do it or you're gonna be forced into it.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is just what's happening on the planet, period.
It's not
heating up.
It's not even,
your bodies are heating up.
You're not even,
the blood within your body is changing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you wonder why you're having this ultimate battle with yourself. It's almost like Freddy versus Jason right now. Like, legit. It's like Freddy versus Jason right now for a lot of people.
Or Kong versus
Godzilla.
Godzilla. I was about to call him Godzilla.
It's the verses for me. And that just got to download. Because the verses came right around when COVID started.
Yes,
So think about this. Versus you versus you. That's exactly what the verses was trying to tell y'all. I just got that download.
Ashe spirit.
So there it is.
Ashe spirit.
The verses. Alien versus Predator. I just watched that shit the other day. Something in my spirit was like, watch it. And I'm like, what is this about the verses?
Yeah.
It's you against you right now. Yeah. So who is gonna win?
Yeah.
You. But what side of you is gonna win?
Yes.
And let me stop fucking playing with me, okay? First of all, let me just say, like, already knows, but for the followers and for you, Rue, man, today was intense because I took a shroom trip today and I wasn't expecting all the emotions I felt today. Like literally had said so much shit, but saying what she's saying is you versus you. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what it came down to at the end. You know, at the end of my night right now, that's exactly what the conclusion is. Am I gonna sit in these emotions and just let these emotions take over, or am I gonna take action? You know, to
Feel.
feel it's okay to feel the emotion,
Okay. You
but what
gotta
are you
feel it.
about it? What are you gonna You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna sit in those emotions or are you gonna take action?
That's
You know, that's really where I was at literally all day.
Yeah.
But she's speaking facts right now.
She
You know, what are you gonna do? You gonna take action? Which side are you gonna let win? You claim you want this, you want to be successful, you want to live this life, you want to help people, you want to do that, or are you gonna say fuck it, give up, pretty much,
and stay in the cycle. Stay in those cycles.
be stuck in the same. So
And you know what? Playing it safe means staying in those cycles. Because playing it safe is so easy to do. Like
familiar.
Yes. What is familiar? What is comfort? You know what I'm saying? And going into tourist season, you don't want to get comfortable, baby. Going into tourist season because tourist is all about comfort. Venus loves comfort and stability. But right now, honestly, it's not the time to be comfortable or safe. Because that's the only way you're going to get to the next level. Like, we have to put ourselves in very uncomfortable situations right now, like very uncomfortable situations, if we want to see ourselves succeed and push through that glass ceiling. You have to test the shadow side.
You have to, and you have to have an intention and a reason behind why you're pushing yourself. Like,
what is your
today? Just looking at the investments and what it would take to make the investments that we are about to make. That's absolutely a pushing out of the comfort zone, because you don't know really what the outcome is going to be. It's really blind faith. But the beautiful thing about blind faith, and what the scripture assures you about blind faith, is that there's works that produces out of it when you're still moving. As long as you work, as long as you stay in motion, as long as you stay in movement, the universe has no choice but to orchestrate on behalf of us. And that's what we have to understand, how limitless we are, how untapped we are, the creative potential that's waiting on us to just take a chance. Take a chance on the side of us that makes you most uncomfortable. Take a chance on the side that's unfamiliar. I'll say for myself.
And too many of us are afraid to do just that.
Yes, we are.
4 cups in reverse.
We are.
Too afraid.
We are.
Because we're so comfortable with what we think we already have, not even realizing the opportunities that are already in front of us.
They're all
like, I don't have this going on, I don't have that going on. What you mean? All these motherfucking resources and opportunities, and you don't have it because you're not tapped into that frequency.
To see it, to see every opportunity as something that's working in your favor, because everything really is working in our favor.
It really is.
And what is for us will never miss us. Let me settle your fears.
Yes.
Nobody can take anything from you that spirit destined and gave and put into your hands. I just posted, right before we got on live, I posted a Tasha Cobb song. And we were driving today to Tucson, and we got to a portion of the road where it was nothing but green grass and fruitful trees, just green and abundant. And then everything around it was desert and barren and dry, and some would say broken. But in the midst of all of that, there's green growth, green grass, there's life. And in the midst of that, I heard Spirit say, where I send you, provision is there.
Yeah.
Where I send you, no matter how deeply you travel within yourself, where I send you, provision is there. That means it doesn't matter in what face you meet in discovering yourself. It doesn't matter how ugly she is. It doesn't matter how broken she is. It doesn't matter how miserable or lost she is. None of it matters. None of it matters. We are all on the same journey. And where Spirit sends you, there is provision waiting. And then the song that followed began to speak an affirmation that says, you know my name.
And didn't Montero said, know my name? Is
Know.
that not the spark? The name, the identity, who you are?
It's the untapped. And Spirit
it's the
says,
accuracy for me.
And Spirit says when the snake energy is in balance, we are prosperous, you are creative, and you are charismatic. And when it's out of balance, you are stopping and starting. The root intention behind the 7 days of creation. Because you start and stop. You won't commit to yourself. So in a way you can commit to the things that you're manifesting, you're going to spoil the harvest. Because
God does not help those that don't help themselves.
You won't commit to the work of yourself before you can get to the work of your mission. Example, the show Travelers that I was telling you about, and we moving on to the next card. There was a particular character, and his name was he was the historian in the group. And in the next episode, he meets this man, a mentally ill man, who has, some in this life we would call him a schizophrenic.
Oh yeah.
And so the way the show goes, it's literally showing you how, as quickly as the spirit can assume the body, is as quickly as the spirit can leave and be replaced, right? And so in this particular episode, the mentally ill man, his mission in this realm was finished. And so Spirit called him home, right? And so now the body is empty. It's nothing else to do with the vessel. And so another spirit takes its place, right? And when the next spirit, they call him the traveler, when the next spirit assumes the body, they're aware of their mission. They know why they're there. They understand their orders, right? And they know how to get to it, right? And so as soon as he got down here, he got to the business. He got to it. He had his affairs in order. He had his mission. He had his orders, and he was about the business. And the historian walks over to him, and he says, I know you feel wonderful and good, and you feel even in your right mind. But in about 3 minutes, your brain is going to fracture. And when your brain, the starfish, and when your brain fractures, you're no longer really going to remember what's happening, who you are. You're not going to be able to tell your illusions from your waking reality. The world is now going to be that fractured in pieces, waiting for you to do the work of putting them back together.
To collect it all back.
To collect it all back. And sure enough, he handled his business immediately when he incarnated, and no more than 5 minutes passed and his brain fractured. And he began to see the illusion of what his former life was. Many of us are holding on to the illusions of what we come from. Many of us come from royalty, from royal lineages, right? And from past lives where we were prosperous and we were kings and emperors and empresses, where we were the magicians and the sages. And when we incarnated back into this realm to do whatever the hell we needed to handle, we forgot along the way.
Yeah.
And your Spirit is saying tonight, under this new moon in Aries, that it's time for us to spark again and to remember. And as you remember, understand that when those shadows present themselves from who you were, understand that you're no longer, that you're still the mission.
Marching back to victory.
Period. That you're still the being that Source sent to handle that job. Even when you forget, even when you fracture and you can't put the pieces back together, Spirit is saying that the Kundalini is rising. And if man have an ear, let him hear that Spirit is saying it's time to put the pieces of ourselves back together.
And that's the judgment.
Yes. Yes. And in our last card is the cosmic egg, y'all. And Miss Shaw already know. The cosmic egg. This card is completion, y'all.
I think they understand. But
this card represents completion.
How many times have we pulled that card though since you got that deck?
Maybe like 3 or 4 times already.
Yeah.
And that Spirit still sending the message that we're at the end of the journey. We're at the end. Everything is coming to an explosive end. To a beautiful end. And where you end up in this masterpiece is really going to be on you, because Spirit is saying completion. This card is also speaking to harmony. This card is also is saying that this is the infinite within the finite. The cosmic egg is the final card in the journey of the Animal Spirit deck. And it represents the unfolding of the cosmic consciousness. This state emerges after we have tread the path for quite some time. We've been on this journey. Our ancestors been on this journey. We've been incarnating into the same stories, into the same happenstances, into the same scenarios, into the same traumas, into the same illusionary triumphs. We've been on this journey, and now we're at the phase of the journey where we're at self-actualization, self-realization. We're at the end of this journey. We're at the alchemizing process. We told y'all, when that radiation showed up in that sky, them pink purple skies started to produce, and y'all started to see the double suns in the sky or the double rainbows that everybody is catching. If you would be present and look up and look around you, taking your eyes off of fallen stars.
I say.
Eyes off of people who want to be celebrity stars, even in the spiritual realm. And fixing your eyes on your star. Spirit is saying we're at the end. Even this card says, when the snake shows up, that is the message. That there is no more time to waste. So you guys,
Spirit just said no more false idols. That the false idols were you believing in people outside of yourself. That's what a false idol was.
It's done. It's done. And this cosmic card is saying that we are at the completion of this cosmic consciousness on this planet unfolding. This state emerges after we have tread the path for quite some time. And through self-effort and grace, we experience self-realization. What did I just say? A sense of contentment and oneness. Spontaneity arises within us, and the veils of our self-limiting beliefs are lifted. You are not what you believe your limited self to be.
You are not what they told you you were.
You are not. DMX was not what y'all thought he was. His journey was not what y'all limited him, Spirit said.
Limited him to being a junkie.
He was limited here. And they sucked him dry for his golden eggs. They split him open before he came back into the realization that he was what was precious. Without him, there were nothing. Without them, they were nothing. And when he left, he sealed up their portals and he cursed their leaders. I don't care what anybody says. He sealed the portals when he left and he cursed the leaders. Isaiah chapters 8 and 9. And the royals were cursed and they fell. And the government was restored back unto the promised sons.
That's why Prince Philip died that day, the same day he died too.
So Spirit said that the veils of our self-limiting beliefs are lifted. And when the essence of the cosmic egg has been activated, you may feel, or has not been activated, you may feel that you'll never get there, or that you're traveling alone, disconnected from other people. Even if our encounter with this card is brief, appearing as a momentary glimmer or flash of interconnectedness, its potent energy stays with us for lifetimes. The cosmic egg is the remedy for the fragmentation of modern life. We were just talking about the starfish.
Talking about the fragmentation.
Spirit talked about the fragmentation and they gave you the remedy. The activation of your cosmic consciousness. That is the remedy.
AKA the merging of your two selves.
Yes. Yes, it is through the power of this card that we are reminded of the cosmic contract written at the beginning. We hold on to life and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. The cosmic egg is connected to the seventh chakra. 7
days of creation.
7.
Me.
The cosmic egg is connected to the seventh chakra. The subtle essence of the cosmic egg resides at the crown chakra, at the top of the head. One of the aims of yoga and meditation practice is to channel energy from the base of the spine up towards the crown. Each of the 6 lower chakras play an important role along this journey. I told y'all, we really have been moving through the journey of the chakras, through the experience of the chakras. We are the assimilator in the experience. I've been saying that all week. You are not the experience. You are the assimilator in the experience, experiencing that which you are creating. You are creating.
Experience through experience.
That's it. You are the assimilator in the experience, right? To be the assimilator, one of the definitions of it is to become something similar to, not to become it, not to take it on and wear it as a second skin, to learn from it, to grow from it, to take the meat and to spit out the bones, to assimilate that which your frequency is matched to, and to discard what is left over. Assimilate in the experience to learn from the experience, not become the experience. And now Spirit is saying we are at the end, at the completion of the experience. So that tells you what happens from here. What happens from here is your say. It's your say. Isaiah chapters 8 and 9 even said, let them call their foreseers, let them call their whisperers, let them call their gods. It doesn't matter, because it is what God's will is calling. Who is God? You are. You are the generator, the operator, and the destroyer. The collapse is happening around you because you are willing it to be so.
All of us want the same thing collectively. We just don't realize that we are all reflections.
Period.
We think we all operating on different timelines, but all of us want this shit to be shut down, and that's why it's shutting down. Because we all are shutting down the computer. It's a computer.
We are one cosmic consciousness operating individually and in our individualism. The moment that you take on the same face, spirit, actions, speaking perception of another person, you dishonor yourself. Period. You dishonor yourself because the God that you're seeing as holier than you is a reflection of you. So if you can see the God that's standing before you, then you must be of that. And the scriptures told you that. Have I not told you that ye were gods?
Yeah, God.
Get up off your knees. The deities are not listening. The portals are closed. DMX told y'all, you're going to have to learn how to pray for yourself.
For yourself.
You're going to have to learn how to be the God of yourself and for yourself.
And you know what that meant? For me, that meant him saying there's no help coming.
There's none.
Nobody's coming out the sky, so you better save yourself.
What
did he say? He said, oh, y'all always you want me to come on here and pray and pray and pray? No, now's the time that you pray for your goddamn self.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
That's some deep shit.
If y'all take nothing from his passing, take that. Take that even in his exiting, he knew that he had to get it for himself. Take that.
That's deep. That's deep.
Take that.
You know, a lot of people don't know how to pray for themselves because their grandma been praying for them, their mama been praying for them, their sister been praying for them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else been praying for them except for them. Yes. So you got all these different consciousness of energies praying for you on their will for you. And you wonder why you can't get shit to go right in your life. Because you haven't even sat your ass down to pray for yourself.
The spirit is telling you, you need to. So that your kundalini, the kundalini that you're chasing in everybody else, can be activated in you. If you feel lost right now, if you feel disconnected right now,
if you feel concerned
right now, you should be tuning in because your kundalini needs to be activated. Your life force.
And you know, concern is a water card, which is about concern for me, because I'm doing the whole emotional intelligence workshop very soon. And when we think about emotions, we think about agitation, the waters being agitated, right? And so right now our waters are being agitated because a lot of what we thought to be as structures, those things are starting to fall, right? And when buildings start to fall, when structures start to fall, they become the foundation starts to break, right? And they sway back and forth. They may even crumble down. They may even fall down into some sort of destruction, destructionary energy, right? But that's to say that the concern is the agitation of the waters, right? The floods are coming, right? And so when you look at all this energy of water happening around us, and our boats, our vessels are being rocked back and forth because of all the different energy that's coming. This is stuff that we're not used to. We're so used to going to work. We're so used to, our little mundane lives that we have, driving in our cars to go here, there, and everywhere. And now it's like, nope, that's closed. That's closed. You can't go here. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do this. And then you got to sit at home and be like, wait. I did say I don't like this system no more. I did say I want this government to shut down. I did say I don't want to go to work no more. I did say all of this.
I said Black Lives Matter. I said it.
So now that you got what you want, you ain't happy.
And that's because you don't know your most authentic voice. So you can't possibly know your most authentic desires.
See, people think that the voice of closing and shutting down is coming from the government. And see, that's what's making people look at this situation not correctly. See, that shutting down came from you. It didn't come from the government. The government is just following what your frequency, your energy, as above, so below.
Yeah.
If you knew the spell, you know what I'm saying, you will understand that the spell is breaking because you are waking up.
Right. Yes, you went from cycles. You went from repeating cycles, untapped magic, not knowing who you are, not activated, just spinning. You see eating itself. He's eating itself. You see him? He's eating itself. So you went from eating yourself to activation and
That
completion because you did the work. Because you did the work. And those same colors that we see in the egg, if you just look up on the sky on any day, I promise you, the sky looks just like this.
or the rainbow around the sun.
Or the rainbow around the sun, or the double or the double rainbows that so many people have been capturing. It's time, y'all. 9/11.
It's the fact that I really see a snake today. It's the fact that I really see a snake today. Wow.
Thank you, divine timing. And I just thank you, ladies, for, such timely and divinely timed challenge.
We was on top, Ace. I'm telling you, even though you didn't realize it, we was on point, sis.
Girl.
And you guys really allowed us to plant intentional seeds over these last 7 days as we prepared for many of us coming into this new moon. And it's 9/11. And so
it's 11 been here.
And 11/11. And so there we go. And so I give thanks that we close this beautiful, beautiful 7 days in creation. As we close tonight, I give thanks for the both of you. And I give thanks for your wisdom. I give thanks for your access and for allowing us to come along on this journey. And most of all, I give thanks for your obedience. Even if this challenge did not look or attract what you guys needed it to, or even imagined it to, understand that y'all made a ripple in the waters of consciousness. Understand that y'all helped to connect people back this week with their creation. Those of us who were obedient to this challenge and was obedient to this call. And so I give thanks to both of you for your obedience and for bringing us such a phenomenal challenge and really bringing us to the end and ushering us into this new moon in Aries. I think that the cards tonight from the animal spirits was beautiful, and it was a beautiful way to close. And we give thanks to the snake and to the whale and to the bee and to the peacock. And there were so many others that came out this week that I am forgetting.
The
bear. But I give the spider, the tarantula as well. The black egg from Ace. And the messages and that. I give thanks for and to each and every spirit animal that took the time to be in communion with us over these last 7 days. And I give thanks for the choosing of my vessel to bring forth this message and these messages that we have been engaging in over the last 7 days. And I truly wish each and every person who is under the sound of our voice, I wish you sparks of creation. And I truly wish and send intention that you find yourselves, that you desire to connect deeply with yourselves, and that you use this Aries new moon energy for nothing vain and of nothing, manifesting nothing that has to do with vanity and abundance. Not manifesting a man or a woman. Manifesting nothing. Manifest yourself on this new moon. I charge you and I implore you guys that there's no more time to waste. Okay? And as I close, I ask each and every one of you, do you know your names? When Spirit calls for you in this season, will you know your name? And will you be able to recognize it when you hear it? And if you don't know your name, I implore you to go back this week and to sit with all of the animals that came forward to talk to us and ask that they introduce you to you and that they speak your name. And when you learn your name, I implore you to give it to the ethers so that Spirit knows how to reach you. And know that whatever name you go by, your provision is there to meet you when you come into the full surrendering of it. Okay? And so, do you ladies want to say anything before we hop off? And I know y'all going on tomorrow, so I know y'all. I don't even want to get y'all into y'all juiciness. Anything y'all want to say tonight, please feel free to take a moment.
I want to say thank you for allowing me to get on your platform. Because first of all, you be it's the preacher for God.
It's her laying it on it for me.
It's like it's so powerful the way you deliver a message. It's so powerful, but it's so peaceful at the same time. The way get your message across. I really needed to be a part of this because she already knows how I'm feeling today.
Yeah.
Like I said, emotional as fuck, and I don't want to make it about me, but if
I had to activate my Sekhmet energy on her.
Huh?
I had to activate my Sekhmet energy on you.
But if this live didn't help anybody, it helped me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really feeling
that's enough.
Defeated as fuck. Like defeated as fuck. And I knew, and I'm like, let's get on the live because I'm already knowing they about to say some shit that resonate. And I need
And we needed both of you guys as we close this night. We needed both of you because you guys were given the vision, and you both were obedient to it. And Spirit said, all that you encountered this week, they're going to make up for it, and your rewards because of your obedience. For the time that you took to deal with yourself today, Spirit is going to restore you, whatever it is. Spirit will restore you. Okay?
Yes.
Shasha, you want to say anything?
Yeah, last thing, just know that as it was in the beginning, it shall be in the end. And this just speaks to what you just said, Rue, about do you know your name? And the first thing that I heard Spirit say is, I will call your name when it's time. And so what I feel like that transitions to is, in the beginning, God spoke creation into this existence, right? And so you are being called back right now to yourself to reincarnate, to recreate into a new cycle. Doesn't mean you're going anywhere. It means you'll be right here. But are you going to be present and aware to know that this is happening within you? Are you going to be present and aware to know when the call when your spark is being recalled back to yourself to reincarnate, to be recreated, right? So again, as it was in the beginning, so will be in the end. So just remember, like Ruth said, are you going to pick up the phone when the phone's ringing? Are you even going to hear the phone ringing? Or are you going to be so distracted by the party, by your manifestations of physical will, by, what's going on in the media, by the stupid shit that you don't really need to be paying attention to? Are you going to be high and drunk somewhere when you're getting the call? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to be, I don't know, on vacation somewhere when you know you wasn't supposed to be there? Are you going to be at work in a meeting when you can't even leave because you feel like, because you got the call, but you got to go, but you think you're going to be fired because you got to be ready. So this is why Spirit is sitting us down. But of course, the message is opposite, right? We should have been out in the streets last year and in the house this year.
Yeah.
So that you can get the call.
Yeah.
You got to be at home to get the call. ET phone home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's all I really have to say is we have to be ready for when the call comes. I was ready when I was summoning call to Vegas.
Listen.
Had I been worried about this, that, and the third, money and work and not having this, that, and the third, I would have missed the call. I would have missed the moment. So I just don't want y'all to miss the moment. That was one of the Kabbalah cards that came out for us this week, was the moment. Are you in the moment to receive the downloads in the moment so that you don't miss the moment? So namaste. That's all I got.
I'm telling you, I appreciate you so much for allowing me to be a part of y'all live, because I know you too, but
I love that for coming. I know it was last minute, and I know I caught you up for by even.
I needed it,
I
and
appreciate you.
everybody else in here, I see the people in the comments, they needed it too.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Thank you guys so much, and really, this challenge is definitely gonna be a monthly thing.
Yes, y'all need to continue for sure.
We all
Y'all need to continue for sure.
other to accomplish more for ourselves, and also do more for everybody else. Do more for the people around, people that depend on us, people that are waiting on us, the people that we're meant to help. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely am we're gonna turn this into a monthly thing. Because it's gonna become so easy. We're like 7 days. You're gonna want to keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's gonna become breaking habits, starting new routines. You know, I don't want to talk too much about it because we're gonna talk about it tomorrow. But
We're gonna talk about it tomorrow because I gotta write down my whole journal prompts for this week, so I can't wait.
Okay, good. So y'all heard it here first. They are going to be bringing us this challenge every month. So if you missed it this month, you need to gird your loins, get your spirit in check, and really figure out the things that you really desire to bring into the physical manifestation and what you really desire to pour your creation energy in. Because when Spirit said, let there be light, there was light. So no matter what you speak or if you believe it or not, something is going to manifest from it because you spoke it to be. Okay? And so we're going to end this with, where Spirit sends you, your provision is waiting. Where Spirit sends you, your spirit is waiting. And so this ends our 7 days in creation challenge.
Completion.
It's a round of applause for all of us.
Yes.
Yo, we gotta celebrate y'all. So please celebrate yourselves this week, you guys. Celebrate yourselves this week.
Matter of fact, if y'all when y'all come on live tomorrow, y'all need to do like an intermission of just celebration. Just celebrating tomorrow. I
don't know. What am I gonna do?
Y'all figure it out.
I give some wine.
We'll figure it out.
Y'all figure it out. And so we give thanks to y'all. We thank y'all for taking a moment to join us, for spending a little bit of time with us tonight on this new moon in Aries. This really wasn't a video about the new moon in Aries, but Spirit allowed us to deal with it a little bit in here. And so we all truly hope that you guys were able to take something away from each and every womb that is on the screen right now. And I truly hope that this challenge and these two beautiful women have really inspired you to go out there and to find something to pour your own creation energy into. And I truly, truly wish you all this Kundalini completion energy. Okay? We thank y'all and we love y'all. Good night.
Peace. Thank you.
Bye.